What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Rawstocks. This is Rustic, and today we're going to be looking at Tesla's daily chart. We're going to look at where price came from, where price ended today, and where price is likely to head tomorrow going into earnings. Don't forget to check the description. There's links to my socials. There's links to the Traders Helping Traders Discord. There's links to starting a Webull or a Robinhood account. There's also links to the merch shop where we are doing a giveaway right now. When we hit 500, 1,000, and 5,000 subscribers, we're giving away some free Rawstocks merch to randomly selected subscribers. So now as we look at the chart today, we can see that on the daily time frame, looking at today's candle, we took the previous day low, which we had previously marked out and discussed in yesterday's video. We also took the previous day high. As we look down into the chart further, we're going to show you how we had Monday consolidation, we had Tuesday manipulation, which has started a distribution and possibly continued distribution to the upside tomorrow. Right now, we also had a new high, so I guess we could also say potentially manipulation is to the upside, and could we see further downside tomorrow? I think a lot is going to hinge on earnings, so we're really anticipating what's going to be happening with that. We did say that there was a 15-minute unbalanced price range up in the 260 range, which we pushed up towards, but we did not extend all the way to. We did still keep open this daily fair value gap that we talked about in yesterday's video, where price never actually closed down below. We did open just a little bit higher than the open of the day on Monday. We did trade down, right? But we, again, still kept this fair value gap open. So we are going to do some adjustments now that I've showed you that we did take the previous day high and the previous day low. So we really had an expansion day today. We had a bullish candle, and it was engulfing, more or less close to engulfing the previous day. But it does look like expansion to the upside. So we're going to adjust our previous day low to reflect today's low. We're going to adjust our previous day high to reflect today's high, and we're looking at that range tomorrow. Do we break over the previous day high and continue to distribute to the upside? We are still kind of stuck in this symmetrical triangle, and we can test the upper boundaries or we can test the lower boundaries. Now, we have been running a test, did not quite get down there, but we did run a test in today's low, and it seems to continue to respect the support level. So does that mean tomorrow we definitely could see price come down and test this? Maybe after earnings, if earnings are bad and the market decides it doesn't like it, we could see that come down and test that support level. Also, again, to the upside, the previous day high or today's high, we did see a lot of activity in this daily point of control volume node that we talked about yesterday as well. And that is anchored in this price action right here. So we did see us getting stuck there. We ended up trading above it, but it was getting sticky for a minute. And then we traded back down and closed above it a little bit. But that doesn't mean that that is not off the table. Let's go ahead and just relook at the volume point of control, starting with the high over here, because we have a whole nother day of trading activity, and we can still see that the volume point of control is at the same spot. So we'll leave that point of control right there. It's still pertinent. So even if we do trade up, we could definitely see price come back down. Now, as we trade up, if we do want to note that although we have this larger head and shoulders look, we also have a smaller head and shoulders that could be developing. And if you're looking at this low here, we have a right shoulder in a lower high. We come back down. We test, we get a head or a higher high. We've now come back down into this general vicinity, right? Also into this fair value gap, and we could set another shoulder. That shoulder could come up to this wick high here. It could come up to the resistance line, and then we get a bigger sell-off. We have a lot of stuff going on over the next few days. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 10, 12 days or so before we would completely reach that apex. But because of the way Tesla moves, there's no way we're going 10 to 12 days without breaking out of the symmetrical triangle. So we are watching for, again, with earnings, we could see a big move. And then we could see that followed by a big sell-off or a bigger rally up into this order block, and we have this fair value gap down here. And then we have this other fair value gap here that needs to be closed. So things that we're watching for, definitely things to see if it happens or not. Now we also have this 15-minute unbalanced price range, and you'll see that as we drop into a lower chart. Those unbalanced price ranges come from inefficiency in price delivery, where it leaves a break of structure or change of character that has not been returned to yet. So that is one of our targets as we continue to trade up. If we do, we're looking to at least balance that price range. And if it takes a couple days to get there, we are looking at that resistance trend line. So entirely possible that we see a burst and a rally in a day or two and take that price range, hit that resistance line, and then trade down from there. If it takes longer, if we are trading down without breaking out of this support level, then we might see that unbalanced price range taken out and then a rally much higher to take these equal highs, another daily point of control coming from this high over here, including all of this price action. And then again, we got the equal highs and we have the swing order block here with buy side liquidity up top. So we'll be seeing and watching and waiting to see what earnings brings. We also have options expirations coming on Friday. So there's a lot of repositioning in the market that happens the week leading into the Friday of options expiration. And then there's a lot of times a bigger move that comes on Monday or Tuesday the following week. There's a lot of hype over options expiration day, but from what I've observed is that most of the repositioning happens on the Monday or Tuesday before, and then there's often a big move that happens the week following options expiration. So don't get baited or be looking for that massive move to happen Friday. From what I've observed, it's often delayed or has happened prior to that event actually happening. So let's go ahead and drop down into lower time frame charts. We'll look at the 4 hour. We have the same targets. We also have some swing order blocks. There's a lot of different order blocks in here that are being identified, and some of them are bullish and some of them are bearish. So we're not going to pay too much attention to the order blocks we're in, but we do have this order block down here where sell side liquidity is. We do also have the order block above on the 4 hour time frame where we also have equal highs, and what we know about equal highs, they will eventually get taken out. So we know that 278.92 or 280 is going to be on the map, but we don't know the time frame that that's going to happen yet. A better look at that fair value gap from the daily time frame, where we still respected it with today's opening candle, where the candle did not close below the low of that fair value gap. Still remains open, has a fairly bullish look to it because price has now tested it 1, 2, 3 different 4 hour candles and continue to respect that fair value gap. Now, what we know about fair value gaps is we often trade into, repel. It is often magnetic and brings price back down into it. If it wants to respect that and the market wants to remain bullish, it's going to leave that open and it's going to send price higher. Okay, nothing says these have to get closed right away. Nothing says they have to get closed at all for that matter. But what we are noticing is that price continues to respect it literally to the dot, to the pennies, and continues to leave it open. That is a fairly bullish sign, but anytime price can come back down, close the candle below, that fair value gap is off the table. We do have this bigger fair value gap here, but it is well below the ascending triangle, and so it's not on our radar right now because we also have sell side liquidity and an order block below. So those are going to be our targets to the downside. If we break the ascending triangle, we have levels, we have order blocks, we have fair value gaps. Those are going to be our targets. Right, let's drop down onto the 1 hour time frame. We have a bearish fair value gap above that also happens to be right in our 15-minute unbalanced price range. Right, so if we put a magnet there, and we might be looking for that middle 50% of that fair value gap, consequent encroachment is what we call that. We're going to say price is going to be drawn up. We have seen price repel. We have not seen price return. Even if price wants to continue to respect this bearish fair value gap, it is going to trade into it and it's going to reject from it. Right? We have today's high. We have some consolidation. You can start to see the Monday consolidation, the move here to manipulation, gap down, trade down, took the previous low, bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame. Go ahead and mark that off for you. Okay, lower low on price, higher low on RSI. We saw the 1 hour divergence, the manipulation after consolidating. We've seen upside expansion or distribution. We've now seen a small correction or maybe even considered consolidation or reaccumulation, right? And then are we going to most likely see further expansion to the upside? Well, running into earnings, I wouldn't be surprised that we see expansion heading into earnings, and then we get the earnings call, which sells off. Also, wouldn't be entirely surprised to have bad earnings coming out and see this thing just rip. Tesla is its own kind of beast, and you never know what's going to happen. But we can try to anticipate. And our best technical analysis here is that we know that fair value gaps are magnetic. So price is going to want to pull into this fair value gap. We do have a 1 hour fair value gap here, which we have traded into. So certainly this rejection can be related to this smaller fair value gap here, and I will mark that off for us so that you can see. Fair value gaps are red, so you know they're bearish, right? And so we have fair value gap, price repels away from, price is drawn back into, nearly the consequent encroachment. So if it wants to reject this, we certainly could trade down tomorrow, and we could say this was accumulation, manipulation to the upside, and then we're going to get distribution to the downside. Because of the RSI look here, it is slightly bullish leaning. We are barely right at the 50. And so RSI could easily roll over and give us a new low. Totally on the table, but because we are above the moving average, because we are at the 50, we are saying we're fairly neutral, but a little bullish leaning because the most recent move has been a bullish move. So we'll be looking to see if this fair value gap gets taken out tomorrow and if price runs up into this bigger fair value gap that we have marked off with our magnet. Let's drop down into the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame is one of the time frames that I look at specifically when I'm day trading. And what I want you guys to see is how to play the 15-minute opening range as we drop down into the 1 minute. Now today, there had a fake out in the beginning, part of that manipulation. There was still a scalp in that trade, but you would have had to been quick to catch it. We did not catch it in the live callouts, but what we did do is average into a position we were already in inside of this 15-minute candle, and we were able to catch a nice run. Granted, we were in a 250 call from yesterday. We came down. We were negative on the call. We were able to scale in by adding an additional 250 call and then sold somewhere up in one of these candles. Turned a nice profit, missed the rest of the run, but profit is profit. We turned a green position, red position into a green position on that one, and we ended up closing out in profit. Okay, but what I want you to see is in our 15-minute opening range, we got a high, we got a low. We're looking for a break of either of these levels on the 1 minute time frame once that's in. We do know that we took this low here, and when you're trading these, you're looking for breakout or breakdown and then targeting a previous low. Unfortunately, this one never got to an actual previous low. We had already taken it basically in the breakout, which was not the trade you're looking for. That would have been a really, really small scalp. So you would have been looking for this liquidity to get taken here, which would have meant we came down into the order block and we broke the resistance line in order to get to that target low. So it did not hit what our target would have been if you were playing that breakdown, but that's the way you set that. And how you can do that is you can also grab, say here, well, we'll drop into the 1 minute and then you can see more specifically. So we'll skip the 5 minute on this one. We'll go straight to the 1 minute chart. We have our opening range here, high, low, okay? When it breaks down or it breaks up, you trade the candle where it breaks, you set your target. Our target would have been down here at a low, and then you set it at a 2-to-1, or roughly a 2-to-1. Okay, so we'll look at that. Now you can let it run all the way back to the stop and take the stop, or if price trades back up to the opening range and you're near break even, you can certainly, if it looks like the trade's going to run against you, close it at that point. So that's how you play it. Did not hit target. There could have been a nice little scalp in there, or you could have taken break even if you played that. But then as you're watching, you start to see bullish activity on these fair value gaps, right? And you could have entered in any of these fair value gaps as price started moving up. But if you only played the breakout right here of the 15-minute upper boundary, I'll go ahead and show you what that would have looked like. Okay, we would have been playing somewhere here on the breakout. We would have set our target at a previous high, which is up here. Okay, our first previous high, we would have set our 2-to-1 here. And even though price did, try to break out, came back down, never actually got to where our stop loss was, ended up running, would have been a $3.71 move on the stock. So it would have been a nice trade to take that. You would have got a little extra move all the way up to 257. We would have closed out if you took that trade at 255. You would have peeled off another $2 if you let it run and see where it looked like it was going to top out. But it would have been a nice trade. Those 15-minute opening range trades can be really great. I've backtested a lot of them. It's less often that you get these false breakdowns. But again, if you take that trade and you don't close, you get back near break even, close the trade, or you take it at your stop loss, right? And then you would have entered again on this one, and you would have caught a nice trade here. They would have balanced out. You would have been in green no matter what, even if you took both of those trades. Even if you lost on the first, you grabbed the second. Now, what we did call out in the rooms is a couple SPY trades. We took the SPY breakdown. We closed that one 25% loss, but following that, we took a breakout on SPY, and that trade went for 33%. We took another off the top, and we had a 50% call out on a put. So 2 out of 3 winning trades taken today in the live rooms on Discord. Under my call out section. And we also closed that Tesla swing for profit. So we had 3 nice profitable closes and 1 loser, but the winners ended up, providing more profit than the loser ended up losing profit. So, and all in all, ended up being a nice winning day. Nice move off of Tesla. So, again, what we're looking for tomorrow, as you again see Monday, and I'm gonna mark this off so it's more clear. But let's look at Monday's price action. Okay, we got Monday. Even though it's kind of a wide range consolidation, we're going to look at the consolidation here. And we're going to label the consolidation blue. Then we're going to look at the manipulation that occurred today. Call that red. And then we're going to look at what so far has been distribution, and do we see further distribution to the upside tomorrow? That's definitely what I'm watching for as we run into earnings. Okay, again, looking at this 15-minute unbalanced price range all the way up to 261. If we don't hit it, do we hit 260 in this very small supply zone or swing order block? Definitely possible. I do think if we get up here, probably going to balance the price range. And if we look further, we have a daily point of control. We have the resistance line from that trend line. But what we'd like to see is Monday consolidation, Tuesday manipulation. We like to see distribution. Then Wednesday, we do like to see distribution occur as well. So if this holds true with consolidation, manipulation, distribution, we'd like to see further distribution to the upside on Wednesday, and then we would like to either see the beginning of the beginning of a reversal to happen, or we'd like to see Thursday to expand. So it can happen either way, and especially with earnings, we can see that further expansion, or we can see the reversal come after the earnings call, which would then send price lower as a confirmed reversal into Thursday. And that's what we're really looking for. So again, I appreciate all the support, you guys. I'll continue to bring this content. Don't forget to smash a like, subscribe to the channel, share with all your friends. Help get our subscribers up to 500 so I can give away a Rawstocks merchandise t-shirt. Tune in for the next one, and I'll look forward to seeing you then.